Okay, let's start again. I've tried to start this podcast episode a couple of times already, and something's always been forgotten, or I've lost my words, or something like that. But anyway, welcome everybody to Straub's Design podcast, episode 29. I am Anne or Anne. I'm originally Finnish and now living in Perth, Western Australia. Today is Thursday, 28th of March, and this episode will not be very organised. I haven't really prepared much or written very good notes at all, but we'll see how we go. I've got 4 finished objects for you, 4 small ones, and most of them are versions of the same pattern. And then I've got I'm going to show you 3 works in progress. And then at the end, I've got quite a bit of lovely new yarn that I've acquired. So let's get it started. Maybe I'll start from these socks that I've been working on for quite a while. And none of these finished objects are actually finished because I haven't sewn in the ends. But let's imagine that there's no ends inside, shall we? So, as you saw from here, these are my stripy socks. I call them DJ Cool socks because the colorway for the stripy yarn is called DJ Cool. And so I bought the yarn last July from the Jyväskylä Yarn Fest, and the stripy yarn is this one. It is from Petrico Yarns. It is a merino sock yarn, 425 meters in 100 grams, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And yes, the color name is Stripes DJ Cool. And it creates this nice, about four round stripe in black, and then it's got the white with little light blue and different green speckles. And the cuff, the heel and the toe I've made with this basic black yarn. It is a sock yarn from Alsterman, German yarn. It's Step Classic, and it's a 4-ply yarn, 420 meters in 100 grams, and it's 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. So that's what I've done. What I've noticed with this black yarn is that, well, first of all, I didn't start these socks in July. It was a few months later, but you know, they've been in my project bag for quite a few months. And this ball has been rolling around in the project bag, and can you see the fuzz there? So it's got this fuzz everywhere around it. Whereas this one, it's been in the same bag, the same time, there's no fuzz at all. So I'm not sure what's that all about. This is the first ball of this yarn that I've ever bought and used, so yeah, I'm just checking out the quality, but it hasn't impressed me too much yet. Okay, let's put those away and I'll show you the socks. So I started from the cuff down. I did a 3x2 rib for maybe 5 centimeters, and then just a very basic stockinette stitch leg, quite a long one, and then heel flap and gusset, just a normal one. I can't remember where I got the, I would have looked at some pattern for the instructions. I haven't made so many socks lately that I would remember it by heart, but just a basic heel flap. And then these same decreases here at the end, as I always do, and I decrease all the way to the end and then just pull the yarn through. I don't do any Kitchener stitches in there. So these are the socks, and there's the other one. These are about size EU 38, so to fit me, and I'm very happy with these. But they haven't been blocked, the ends haven't been sewn in, and I haven't used them yet, but our weather is just cooling down, so I think they are ready just at the right time. These ones weigh 66 grams. I haven't checked how much of each yarn I've used, but 66 grams altogether, and I used 2.25 millimeter needles, circular, and oh no, I didn't. No, because yes, that's it. I couldn't loop two together because this ball was wound like this, and I didn't want to start winding it into two balls by hand, so I actually made these one at a time with, I think they're Knit Pro, the wooden sock needles, DPNs, with lots of different colors in the wood. So they were 2.25 mil in size, and yeah, I made these in DPNs. I just started to compare if they are the same size, but they are, because previously I've had trouble knitting with DPNs one at a time, and then the other sock becomes a completely different size, but these are good. So that's one FO. Then something that might look like a deja vu for you, because I've made another cabled beanie. This one is for Felix, and he chose the pom-pom because of the blue, and I bet also because of the rainbow colors. But this is same beanie as I showed you in the last episode. This one is the first one I made, and this is for Finn. This is slightly bigger. In here I have taken one of these cable repeats out, so this is a bit smaller. And the other difference the other thing I did differently with this smaller beanie was that I used slightly smaller needles for this rib. So I used 2.75 mil needles for the rib, and this feels nice and sturdy. And then I used 3.5 mil needle for the beanie itself. In this one, the rib is made with 3 mil needles, and then 3.5 mil for the beanie. And this end of the rib feels like it flares out a little bit, but it will be fine. And yeah, they will be both good. The pom-poms have been attached with a button because they have a little elastic here, like this, so they can be taken out for wash. But now both little boys have their own beanies, and they're easy to distinguish because of the pom-poms. I use the same yarn for this. I don't have the ball band or anything, but it's a Spotlight brand, Vera Moda North Coast Cotton, which is, I think it was about 72% cotton and 28% merino. Oh no, just wool. So mostly cotton. And I set the needles, and there was 61 grams of yarn I used for this little beanie. So just over one ball, because they come in 50-gram balls. Yep. So that was that. Nice quick knit, that one as well. Let me just, that one's done and that one's done. Okay, so that I know where we're at. Next one. After I finished my Vertices Unite shawl, I had lots of this lovely yarn left. The hand-dyed Gasakera Pom Pom Donegal tweed. And I really wanted to have like a small project that I could make. And I had been thinking about, my sister-in-law gave me, last year she gave me these Fingerless mitts. And I had a chance to wear them a couple of times when it was still cold. And they were quite nice. I actually liked them, and I thought that, oh, maybe I would wear them. I've never really worn fingerless mitts or anything like that, but they felt nice. They didn't have a thumb at all, so they were just really easy, simple rib tube with a hole for the thumb. But I felt like I needed something for the thumb, so I started looking for fingerless mitt patterns for fingering weight yarn. And I found one which is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's by Heidi Allander, and it's called Piitu Mitts. Maybe I should show it to you. Do you want to see it? I'll quickly find it for you here. It's a really lovely pattern with a nice lace pattern on this side. Oh, this is taking too long now. So I made them, and there's yarn ends here again, so I'll try and tuck them in so that they don't bother you that much. They'll look a bit nicer if the yarns are ready. So this is the mitt. Look at that lace, isn't that pretty? I think it's beautiful. And it is very intuitive and easy to memorize. I think I had done maybe 4 or 5 repeats here. And then I remembered it by heart, so I didn't have to look any instructions at all. I love making these mitts. As you can see later, I've made a few pairs. And they're just, I think, it takes me about 3 days, or knitting on these on 3 days, that I can finish them, and it's such a lovely knit. Yeah, so this one, there's a little 1x1 twisted rib at the start, same thing here, and then there's a thumb gusset, and then a few rounds on the thumb, and then the same twisted rib at the end. And of course I've got 2. And this side is just simple stockinette. These ones I made with, I knitted with a 2.75mm needle, 2 at a time. On a circular needle. And these are, I think this color yarn and this pattern, they're just made for each other. It is It is so nice. And yeah, I did this exactly according to the instructions. So I think it's the perfect length. The thumb is the perfect length, and the glove finishes at the right spot where you bend your fingers. So I think perfect 10. I still have to sew in the ends, but yeah, I'll do that soon, and then I can start wearing them when the winter comes here. So these ones use 36 grams of this fingering weight yarn. I'll show the... Here we go. Kässäkerho pom-pom, Donegal tweed, 400 meters in 100 grams, 85% superwash merino and 15% viscose. So that was that. And then once I finished those, I really wanted to make another pair, and I decided that I might just make one for my friend who lives in Europe. And this is what I made for her. Oh. Bloody ends that haven't been sewn in. I get tangled. There we go. So these ones are a tiny bit shorter, both ends here and there, just because this yarn, this white yarn, it is this merino, Patterns Baby Dreamtime Merino 4-ply, 169 meters in 50 grams, so 340 per 100 grams. So maybe this is still, is this still, it's either spot or fingering weight anyway. But I had this leftover yarn that I had dyed a couple of years ago with food dyes, or food coloring. And here you can see a little bit, the color in it is very, very subtle. It was kind of a experiment gone wrong because I didn't use enough of the dye. So it's very subtle, but there's little pinks and like peachy, yellowy colors in there. And on this one, for some reason, there's a little bit of green here and there. Who knows how that happened? But because I only had that, I had 26 grams of this white left when I started making these gloves or mitts, and I really wanted to use it because I thought that this pink went so well with it that I wanted to use that. And so I think I took one repeat off from here before I started the thumb gusset, and then here I must have, did I take 2 repeats off? Yeah, it must have been 2 repeats, so they're a little bit shorter, but I think they're still really good, and they are the prettiest, I reckon. I think these are so pretty. I would want to keep these to myself, but I made them for my friend, so I will send them to her. Another modification that I did with these ones is that in the thumb, when you pick up the stitches and start knitting the actual thumb, the pattern says to pick up three 3 stitches from here where there's none, or like where you have to actually connect it to here. But in these ones I picked up 5 because I thought that might give a little bit more room for the thumb, because I knit quite tight because I want the fabric to be quite tight. And yeah, that works. Not that the other one doesn't work, but this works well, and the thumb, the stitches are quite nice and they don't look too stretched. So here I've got a few ends to sew in, and then I can post these to my friend. Yeah, you can see the little green flecks, and for some reason the green flecks were only on one side of the leftover yarn, because this other glove doesn't have any, and yeah, I was using it from both ends of the ball, so something happened there. But isn't this pretty? Here you can see the actual pattern even better. I think this is so pretty. And so these ones were 33 grams in total that I used, so 3 grams less than the first pair, this one. And I estimate that it was about 24 grams of this white, and then about 9 grams of the red. That sounds a little bit much. Is this 9 grams? Oh well, 33 grams in total. I might have to double check that. Yeah, I might have to double check that. How much of the pink? But yes, that's another pair of the mitts. Oh, excuse me. I need to straighten my leg. And then I've got, was that all of my whips? Yes, all of my whips were there. And now we can move on to, no, okay, what am I talking? That was all of my finished objects, and now we can move on to whips. That's what I was saying. And this is yet another pair of the same fingerless mitts. I wanted to make more and I asked Finn if he would like to have a pair, and he said yeah, I want to. So I started to make a pair for him. In these ones I'm using the same size needle, so 2.75 mil, and I'm using the same stitch count, so you cast on 48 stitches at the start. But what I'm using now is this is light fingering weight. This is 550 meters per 100 grams. It is, where have I put that label? Here we go. So it's Knit Lob's Lair, their Ilmatar base, which is 50% merino and 50% silk, and 550 meters by 400 grams. This colorway is called, this is what I used for my Stage Soft shawl that I showed you last time. So this colorway is called Kekale, and the contrasting cuffs here, I used the Halla Yö colorway from the same yarn. And I think these will be just perfect. Finn tried these on this morning, and they seem to be the right size. So compared to mine, there is a bit of difference. So it was enough just to change the yarn to a thinner yarn, and then just keep knitting fairly tight. Obviously with, you know, a colorful yarn like this, the lace doesn't really show up much at all. It does a little bit when you look at it, not on the camera but in your hand, but I think it might be good like this. You can still see that there's something going on, but maybe it's a bit more suitable for boys when there's not too much lace showing. Now I quite like this colorway, although it's not my color, but there's a lot of nice colors, and I know that Finn loves it. So I think I did 5 repeats of the pattern, and then I started the thumb gusset increases, and I'm almost done with them. I've decided that I will do 1 increase less than in those adult ones, so the thumb gusset doesn't have to be as big, and then the thumb itself will be a little bit smaller as well once I make it. So this is what I'm working on at the moment, and once I get these done I will make an even smaller pair for Felix, and this one will be the main color, and I might do the cuffs in the nice colorful orange if he wants, or otherwise I'll just use this. So that's that. That's all of my hand things that I've been making and am making. I feel like I've been rushing. Have to take a little breather, because I've got 2 more whips to show you, and then we've done all the projects. What am I showing you next? I'll show this one. So this is something that I started before our trip to Finland in July, so this would have been very end of June when I started this. And this was supposed to be my project for the plane. It's a crochet project, and it's a Buddha shawl. Let me see. It is a paid for pattern. It's not on Ravelry, it's on a web page. It's a Buddha shawl, and it looks like that. So it's designer is Claudia Saz, S-A and that funny double S. The pattern cost like 1 or 2 euros or something, so it didn't cost much, but it is in German. But if you know only a little bit of German or something like that, there's charts where you can you know, make the shawl. And that one uses about 1,000 meters of yarn. Quite a few people, I've seen them make it in the sheep as well. That's what I started it with. So this colorway is Blueberry Bam Bam. It is a 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. This is about, well, 220 grams give or take, so it's 1,000 meters. And I made my Villapesupinna shawl out of this, and I absolutely love it. It washes and wears really well, and it's just a nice lightweight shawl, so nothing to complain about. So I've started this, and this is where I'm at. I've done the bottom leaves kind of from the pattern, but I stopped because you can probably see what the problem is here. I think my sides are too tight, these stitches at the ends, because this is a cotton acrylic, so this does not give at all. I've been wondering what I should do. Should I just frog it and start again? I might have to actually, because I thought that if I now start to make the very end stitches looser, that will it correct itself or not. Also, when I've noticed that when I do these rows with a lot of double crochets in there instead of the holes, it feels like it gets much wider, and that might be the reason as well why it feels like it's not quite a triangle. I don't know, what do you think? Would it correct itself if I just maybe made one more chain stitch at the ends, so that it would be a little bit, would give a little bit more? Maybe I'll try that first, and then I will just have to frog it if it doesn't work. But yeah, I had started this, and I think I was somewhere here. When I left for Finland, and I did not crochet on this on the plane at all. I did not have a chance because I had both the boys with me, and I was only me with them, so I didn't have time. And then I didn't crochet on this in Finland at all. I needed something else, and so I think this is one night's worth when I sat down and started crocheting this. So it wouldn't be a catastrophe if I had to frog it, but let's say that I will try and make the edges a little bit looser at first, and then I'll see how I go, because I already have the first couple of changes to the color here, and it's getting so exciting. So I wouldn't want to frog it, just in case it's okay at the end. I'm crocheting this with a 3.5 millimeter needle, and these needle hook. These boy hooks are my favorite. Very basic hooks, but I don't know, I just like it. I think the end of it is the right shape for me, and it works for me very well. So that's my Buddha shawl. Yes, I'm going somewhere there, I think. And it's going to be quite big, but I think that would be a nice decoration normally somewhere on the wall, or it would be a really nice summery shawl with all the holes and that cotton yarn. Yes, and then my last whip, which is very small. I haven't done much. This is, who can guess? Who can guess what this is or will be? I'll give you a hint. So this is the Liner magazine, issue 6. and I really want to make the Poet jumper designed by Sari Nordlund. A Finnish designer who lives in my hometown Vaasa, and she's just recently started work with Novita, a Finnish yarn manufacturer, as a full-time knitting designer. So that's very exciting. But yeah, I'm going to make this jumper. I don't know how long it will take. This is I think this is the most complicated design I have attempted to knit. And I'm a pretty good pattern reader, but I just need to pay attention to every single word from now on, because okay, maybe the first 2 rows went well, and then when I had to do the first pattern row, I did it 4 times before I got it right. One time, the first time, it went wrong because my stitch count was off and I couldn't figure out why. But then I went to have a look at the errata in Ravelry, and there was a 1 stitch, I think it was a 1 stitch mistake in the printed chart. So that was a great help, so I could move on. But then the other 2 times that I went wrong, I just didn't realize how accurately you have to read the pattern, that every single word means something. So I did the repeats wrong. Yeah, because obviously you have a pattern repeat and you have to repeat it so many times, but I was repeating too big a chunk. But now I've got it done, and I really wanted to knit on this, but this has to be something that I knit on when I really can concentrate, and when I can read the instructions, and when I can, especially in this part, because now I think I've got 1 more row to go, and then this will be joined in to work in the round. So to do that, I have to have my 100% of my concentration with me. So I can't watch TV, or I can't, I don't want to do it when it's dark and I'm sitting here at night or anything like that. So I will have to make sure that I know what I'm doing. And I think I figured out the chart as well, because the chart has been written as in when you're knitting in the round, but because at the start you knit flat, I think you have to change the knits to pearls and pearls to knits in the chart when you're knitting the wrong side. So I was quite proud of myself for figuring that out. But yeah, it's all a learning experience, and I'm excited to get this done. I was thinking that I would wear this winter, which begins in a couple of months, but let's see. I am making it in the Spotlight 4 Seasons Merino 4-ply, 100% Australian merino wool, and this is how much? 135 meters in 50 grams, so 270 meters. And I think this is pretty much a spot weight, whereas the pattern calls for fingering weight, the tuku wool, and that's 195 meters per 50 grams. So there's a 60 meter difference in these yarns. But I will try and we'll see how we go. I didn't realize when I bought these that there was such a big difference, but I think it will be fine. And I'm using the 3.5mm Addy circulars for this. But this is my lovely poet coming along when there's brain capacity. That's it. That's my F-files and that's my whips. And this is my tea. And now we've got the acquisitions to go. I don't know what's happened to my mum lately, and I think we should somehow have her checked, because she's been posting me all these beautiful packages full of yarn, mainly full of hand-dyed lovely squishy luxury yarn. I won't say no though, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. But I am very, very grateful. And this haul that I got now, there was a like a, how would you call it? It was like a knit night, except that it was during the day, and it was a bit bigger occasion, not just a couple of ladies sitting in a cafe and knitting. It was quite a big event, and there were yarn dyers selling their yarn and everything, and yeah, that was in my hometown, and Mum went there and she went crazy with the yarn purchases. So she sent me some. First of all, I'll show you the tuku wool sock that I got. So 3 50-gram hanks of tuku wool sock, which is about sock weight, sport weight. So it's 160 meters per 50 grams. And it's 80% finish wool and 20% polyamide. This shade is called Kayo. It's a lovely petrol. And then we've got the light grey, which is Humu. And yeah, I had, in this same line of magazine again, I had looked at these socks, Vind socks, and I think they specified tuku wool sock materials. Yes, so I could make those socks with these two, or then I could make some other socks and, you know, do a bit of color work or stripes or whatever. But yes, now I can try tuku wool sock. Up until now I've only had the tuku wool fingering, so something fun for these. Then, speaking of socks, Mum sent me 3 balls of the most iconic, at least I think so, Finnish sock wool. Novita, 7 veljestä, 7 brothers. And this is, I'm not sure if this, okay, so this is 200 meters per 100 grams. So to me, that would say that it's a DK weight. And it's 75% wool and 25% polyamide. And this is all made in Finland. And I got 3 bowls, 350 gram bowls. So light grey, dark grey, and this lovely light blue. And I've been wondering what to, oh, they smell sheepy. I've been wondering what to make with these. I thought I might just do stripy socks, stripes with these colors, and then cuffs, heels and toes in these, or some color work, or just a moment. I'll show you what another pattern that I was thinking. Yeah, I had forgotten about this plan. Lucky I talked to you about it. So this is this might be one that I might make with those. It is from the Finnish magazine Taito, issue 1, 2018. So this is this pattern. It's called Salmarisukat by Leeni Hoimela, and it uses it is made for this 7 veljestä yarn. Uses about 90 grams of the main color and 50 grams of the contrast. Yeah, so I could make 2 pairs with the same colors, just swap them over. But yeah, the jury is still out. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with those, but yeah, I've got a few ideas. And then to the most awesome yarns, or the most beautiful yarns. So these are from 3 different indie dyers in Finland. Sorry for the rustling. And this one I have never heard of before. Ulrike by Anki. So I got 2 skeins of her yarn. This is merino sock yarn, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. 425 meters in 100 grams. And I've got this color, which is called birch, and it is so birch, and I love it. I love birch. Birch reminds me of home, of Finland. And then this beautiful minty green. This one doesn't have a color name, but yeah, and aren't they just beautiful together as well? So those 2. Then there was this, which is from Rouva Silmusolmu, and it's her merino sukkis, so sock yarn. Same deal, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, 425 meters and 100 grams. And this colorway is called Päiväuni, which is daydream. Let's do it here. So there's pinks, very light greens, and then slight little, maybe a little bit browny bits. Let's see, there, brown bits where the colors overlap, and then just almost white. So that's pretty, even with these. And then another new dyer. I've followed her on Instagram, and I've heard other Finnish podcasters talk about this dyer, but this is the first yarn from her that I've ever had. So it's Warmy Ones. So I got 2 skeins like this and 1 like this. This is a merino single, 100% superwash merino, 366 meters in 100 grams. And the colorway is Storm Showers Maja, Myrskyluodon Maja. And it's a lovely, like a grayish, bluish yarn. So squishy and nice. And then I've got 2 of these. And this one is the same merino sock base again. So 75% superwash merino, 25 nylon, 425 meters in 100 grams. Colorway Snuggle Smuggle. So there's pinks and browns and beige and almost white. And So all of these are pretty much the same base. It's a sock yarn. And I was thinking of even like what can I make out of these. I thought that I could even do a faded jumper or something like that from, or I could make something with these three. This is a merino single, but you know, in a shawl or something like that, it wouldn't matter. There's so many combinations, so I haven't decided what to do with all of these. And these, and these, and like that wasn't enough. There was almost also a ball winder for me, so I can wind my skeins, my lovely skeins, into balls. I don't have a Swift yet, so I'll have to see how I go winding these without a Swift, but I might have to get one or improvise. But we'll see. We'll worry about it when we get to that. But yes, I feel a bit lucky. But that's about it from me. I think I've talked way too long. I thought this would be a short... Oh, I'm going to be late from school pickup. I gotta wrap it up. Okay, I thought this was going to be a short episode, but I was wrong. So I will finish now so that I can get Finn's swimming gear together and then go and pick him up from school. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you got some inspiration, or if you've got some comments, don't forget to comment down below or give me a thumbs up, or also on Ravelry in the Strobes Design group you can come and chat. But yes, I will love you and leave you now, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.